What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. We got Dimebagged back in the shop. This week we're jumping in the engine bay to finish off some metal work. And we're gonna start to build some inner fenders to cover up these tires. That way the rain and the dirt doesn't get splashed over the beautiful engine bay and the inside of the hood. So I'm gonna go ahead and start just by zipping this lip off of each of the sides. And then that'll give us room to start building off. We're gonna start over here on this lip, come over, roll up, dive back down, back into the firewall. Okay, now that I cut off our little edge here on either side, I'm starting to mock up a template. This is what I have going on so far. So as you can see, it's going to sit on the lip on the outer fender coming in. And then I'm going to have it come across here, just wired in the wheel, but before our air intake. And then I have it marked here how far out from the fender it's going to come before it has to come up to go over the tire in this position. So it'll be flat in this section, then start to dive up. And then in the back here, I'm going to continue my template back here, get lined up in the firewall, and then also choose the point here to start flattening back out. So I'm going to continue with the outline of the template, and then we can kind of figure out the curved section in the middle after that. Alright, so I've got my first piece all set up here. As you can see, it nicely follows the line on the inside of the core support, follows our fender line all the way down, and then on the back there's a provision to go in this dip in the back of the firewall, come out over and run along here. So now our portion here that's missing is going to be similar shape to the tire. We're going to have a little swooped piece over here. Okay, so I got my piece set up here, my two pieces. This is going to be the arched portion that goes over the tire, and then this is going to be the sidewall that's going to be flush with the top of the flat part of the fender. So I got it set up now. I'm just going to put a tack here on the inside to get this started, and then I'm just going to slowly close the gap. This is thin sheet metal, so it's going to contour pretty easily. Alright, now that we got this piece and our cover piece all test fit, it's time to stiffen this up. So on our inside edge here, so visualize the tires here, this is the inside, we're going to make an angle with a hem. So we're going to do an angle coming off the bottom, going down, and then we're going to fold over that angle as a hem for a finished edge and run that all the way across to the back of the firewall over here. Okay, now that our hem is in and everything is test fit, I'm going to start doing some fasteners and support brackets. That way we could get this set in stone before we do any more design elements like coming off of here or even building out the other side. That way we ensure is where everything is going to be in the end. So what we're going to do is on the back side here, under here, we're going to make some L brackets. I'll get a level, hold this up where it's going to be, mark it on the tape on the firewall, be able to bolt in a bracket underneath, and then be able to get some hardware up here. That will make it nice and sturdy in the back. The hem makes it extremely sturdy on this run here, and then we can get a few pieces of hardware into our fender well here to hold us secure. And up here off the core support, we could also catch this lip as well and get a piece of hardware in there. So I got my bracket attached to the back, so now we're sitting all nice and flush and level. And I went ahead and marked out where I want the rest of my hardware to go. Just a marker here, 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 here. So I'm gonna go ahead and start drilling out all of those points, and then take everything off, be able to drill where they're gonna catch, put rib nuts in, and get everything secure. Okay, so I got my template made for my fill piece. Obviously made it a couple pieces because I didn't have paper long enough for one run. But you can see there's this one piece that's going to be here, and I'm actually going to put a lip coming up here, so this is a good spot to do fasteners into, and that will connect our two fender sides to each other. You can make a nice bead roll pattern somewhere in here, and then there's a cutout for a radiator. Then this second piece here will go down over the hood latch and kind of have a bend up here, another bend to cover the top, and span all the way across. So now that I have this template made, I'm gonna take this all out, lay it flat, and then be able to get measurements so that way I could translate it into the plasma. Okay, we got our piece fit in here and our entire back section that we had flipped up, fully welded in. Next, we're going to make the piece that travels along this side. So I've taken some measurements. I'm going to go ahead on the plasma, cut that. We can attach it. This lip, I think I'm going to make it actually flush instead of flush to here. I think it's going to look better if everything's just flush to the core support, and then we fill in this with another little triangle. So once I get this piece made, I'll be able to set it down here, break all the points, the mild bends that it needs to sit flush, and then I could use it as a mark and trace along there to trim off some of these edges, make a cut line. So I'm gonna go plasma, cut up this long piece, and then we'll be able to bring it here and get it bent up so it lays flat. We got the bead rolls on either side of the coolant reservoir. On the passenger side panel, we got our bead rolls here, bead rolls on the driver's side, and one in the middle. So now that all that is finished, I'm gonna try and work on just some little items here. One, I gotta finish welding this whole section here, smooth it out. I'm also made some marks here for hardware to hold this in to our core support, and just gotta make sure that all these holes will line up with our hood hinge, which is loose right now, just hanging out underneath. And then gotta tighten up. There's, I think, a weld broke right here, so I gotta re-weld that up. Once I'm done with all that, I'm gonna make little pieces to fill in on either side here and here. And then I'm going to add a lip on the inside of this to make it a little bit more finished and also give it some strength. So I'm going to start with mounting this, welding, smoothing out, and then I'll get to those other little items. Okay, we're all finished with the fabrication of our closeout panels. I think it came out pretty good. Add some bead rolls to our wheel arches to match everything else. Now we just need to smooth everything and then give it a coat of paint. So that's a wrap for doing all of our under hood beauty panel fabrication. We got a couple more items to really finish up Dimebag, get it fully complete. We're gonna do a flex fuel sensor, adjust some shift linkage issues we've been having, and also finally hook up the air conditioning so we can get this thing cooled down in Florida summer heat. So stay tuned, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, see you next time.